Welcome to Lunch with Sandra. So every Monday at around between 12 and 1 we get together and talk about information. And this will switch in just a moment. Let's see if I can switch it yet. Nope, not yet. So just a moment, we'll get started. Okay, so today's topic is how do you know if PTSD is affecting you? I'm Sandra Baker. I'm an intuitive life coach and a Rapid Eye trainer for the Institute. Rapid Eye is a technique that is used to release stress and trauma. Let's see if it switched. Did we switch yet? No, not yet. Okay. It already is. No, I switched that. Okay. I tried switching it. This is how Periscope works. It won't flip for a couple of minutes because it's waiting for more and more people to join. So if I turn you around, then you'll see me, but then I won't see you. So I'll turn it around for a minute. Okay, so how you know PTSD is affecting you? I'll just check this in just a minute to see if it flips around. PTSD stands for post-traumatic stress disorder. And actually, I can tell you that it's in pretty much every person. Anybody that's experiencing anxiety, the sure signs of it are panic attacks and huge upsets for no reason. But the minor, let me see if it switched yet. The minor symptoms of PTSD are, oh, a war vet, thank you for joining. So you definitely know. Hopefully I can turn the camera around so I can read you guys. Thank you for joining. I love working with veterans. And war veterans, that's an obvious case of PTSD. Thank you, Elaine, for joining. Just let me know. I guess I'll just keep working with it until it flips. Let's see if it will work. I might have to do it again. Okay, there we go. So thank you. I really love working with war veterans because, you know, I'm so humbled and honored, especially today, 9/11, as we talk about PTSD and how it affects us. It's really fascinating to me how people don't believe they're suffering from PTSD, yet they'll have huge amounts of anxiety. And they say, well, that's just because I have anxiety. So let's talk about how you know that you have PTSD and what are some of the symptoms. So we had somebody that just joined us that's a war veteran. Do you want to tell us how PTSD affects you? I will tell you how I noticed PTSD, and that is I had several years ago, my kids are grown now, but I had lost custody of my kids. Let me adjust my camera here. I had lost custody of my kids, and I noticed that anytime I would drop my kids off or say goodbye to them, then it created these breathing inside me that was really panicky. Like, I don't know when I'm going to see them again. I don't know, even if I knew it was still, you know, 2 weeks away, I would see them, or next Wednesday I would see them. It was the same feeling as if I had just lost them. Welcome, Saharia, to Periscope. And so recognizing some of the symptoms, and what I'd like to do is have everyone for just a moment go to a moment in your life where you felt was very stressful. And just think about that moment. And in that moment, there are things going on inside your body. So if you think about what's going on inside your body and allow yourself to feel it, your body is what's going to tell you that you're stressed. And realizing that your body is your biggest communicator is going to help you become really aware when you're in a PTSD attack. So post-traumatic stress disorder comes in, and it could come by even just seeing a car accident, not by being in the car accident, but by seeing the car accident. So I had a client that was in embryo, so they were in their mom's womb, and their mom had gotten in a car accident, and so the seatbelt tightened around her. And it wasn't a bad accident, but it was bad enough that it jolted her like that. And this car accident created, of course, a flood of adrenaline and emotions into the mom. And of course, the baby is being fed the mom's blood. And so the blood is now full of those panicky emotions, and it goes right to the baby. So the baby feels a couple of things. The baby feels the strap on the seatbelt go and stick right around the baby tight, and then the baby feels a jolt of emotions flood its system. So there's several things that go on in trauma. We're using our senses, and it's putting us in that fight or flight syndrome. And then when we're pregnant, then that sends the message to the baby that life is dangerous. So what happened with my client, of course, unconsciously, they didn't realize that any time the seatbelt was around them and they just stopped suddenly, what would happen with her is when the car would stop suddenly and the seatbelt would just automatically tighten, she would go into a full-blown panic attack and not understand why. So when she came in to see me, she says, I don't know why I'm having this symptom. It's really crazy. And one of the things in working with PTSD is understanding that you consciously can't remember the trauma every time. Now, many times you can, but if you're an embryo or a fetus, then you are not remembering you're consciously not remembering what took place and why the seatbelt makes you do that. So a couple of symptoms that you may be experiencing if you had womb trauma is some physical symptoms is asthma. If you have a difficult time breathing, more than likely you suffered from a lack of oxygen when mom was carrying you, or perhaps in your birth, in your delivery. If mom smoked during the pregnancy, then that would cut off your oxygen, or if you were around smoke, that would cut off your oxygen. So that would make you oxygen deprived. That will give you a feeling of panic. If you had in that moment that my client had that panic attack, was recognizing the seatbelt. What happened is just by taking her back, and some people can go back very easily and others need hypnosis to do it, but some hypnotherapy to take you back into the trauma, and this time be the observer of the trauma rather than being the trauma, so that you can observe it without having to feel the huge flood of overwhelming emotions. So in my client's case, we took her back, excuse me, to the very first time she felt that. And she just started describing herself feeling panicky and stricken with fear, and a tightening that happened across the seatbelt, or the seatbelt tightening around her when she was in the uterus. So it's fascinating when you can understand the impact that life itself has on you when you're in the womb. And you know, one of the most traumatic experiences you'll ever have is being born. If you think about what you experience when you're born, and you know, you're going through a very tight birth canal, and so there's a feeling of panicky that happens then. There's a lot of panic that can happen when you're deprived of the oxygen, of I can't breathe. And I had a fascinating weekend visiting with a woman by the name of Barbara Findison, who wrote this book called Womb Prints. And this is fantastic study of how the birth will affect you and how PTSD is affecting you currently. And these are cases of adults that are doing hypno-regression. and they go back in and find the root cause of why they feel a certain way. And I've written down, I took a couple of notes to help you guys understand if you have experienced womb trauma, finding out first of all what your birth was like, and for you women, thank you Sandra for joining, for you women that have experienced birth, you know that giving birth is a pretty traumatic experience. So if you have a difficult time forming relationships, that very much could be birth trauma. Completing things, feeling crushed where there's no place to go, claustrophobic for no apparent reason, stepping in an elevator and feeling panicky. Misplaced anger will cause you wondering, why am I so angry right now? And what's the root of that? If I get to the end or completion of a project, pain might happen. Feelings of being held back or impeding your progress in life and feeling trapped, feeling isolated, separated. Look, I have my grand today. Hi, Nora. So I'm so passionate about this work because watching I love it. Come here, come see. She's a little camera shy, but she's going to show everybody. This is my Nora. Can you say hi to everybody? Can you say hi? So Nora is one of my grands, and I'm so passionate about this work because of all the children in my life and the PTSD that recognizing. Is this a disability to deal with a general problem like being around people? Absolutely. Thank you, Shanna. Having a difficult time being around people absolutely can be stuck in the womb. It can be, so if you look at what a baby experiences, she's going through, okay, here, she wants it on my lap. Okay, so she's going through the womb, or she's going through the birth, and from the womb, and this womb is a very safe place. And what happens, you want to see Nora over here? Can you say hi up here? Okay, go see Mama. What happens, I know we want to stay with Grammy. What happens is when you're in the womb and it's a safe place, safe, warm, and comfortable, and you come out and let's say you get oxygen deprived, and then all of a sudden all these people are on top of you, and you know, they're spanking you, they're abusing you. It is a complete shock to the system, and all of a sudden you're stimulated with people around you and trauma. So there's a couple of things that happen that you want to pay attention to with trauma. There is the mind, the emotion, and then something physical in the body happening. So with a newborn baby, you have going from a safe, warm place to this scrunchy place to out, and then all these hands handling the baby. Obviously, the best thing for the baby is to be skin to skin, naked to naked, on top of you. And I encourage you guys to watch my video, by the way, that I just posted in, you're welcome, let's see, Black South, you're welcome. Just watch the post the video that I put on my Awaken Within Facebook page. That is so powerful. I'm really excited to be doing this work. So what do we do? Since you asked the question, could being around people cause me to feel panicky? First of all, understand that sensitive people have a difficult time being around too many people anyway. If you are sensitive, more than likely you're what's called a clair empath. That means you can feel what other people are feeling. And many disabled kids are experiencing, they're very sensitive, they're very empathic, autistic, kids, and a lot of the kids coming to the planet are so sensitive. And so being aware of you're probably a sensitive person, and being in a big group of people will cause you to go into a panicky feeling. So I'm going to give you a couple of ways to do that. Number one, get yourself grounded into your own energy field. So stick the tongue up on the roof of your mouth, and even putting your fingertips together if everybody just wants to do that for a moment. And taking some deep breaths. That's going to get you grounded into your own circuit of energy, which comes, you're in a column of light, and it comes straight down through you and all the way through you to a point in the center of the earth. As empaths or sensitive people, you are allowing other people's feelings or frequencies or vibrations into your energy field, and you're picking up on their stuff. So get yourself grounded into your own complete circuit. Get yourself outside. If you can, barefoot, feel the grass, feel the ground underneath you. That gets you grounded. And just say, I choose to be in my body 100%. So everybody together, I choose to be in my body 100%. That in itself is very powerful to get you grounded into your own circuit of energy, because you're a powerful creator, manifester, and speaking what you want, sometimes out loud if it's hard, and zipping up before you go into a stadium of people. Soccer games, I see Leslie's on, she likes to go to soccer games, and she's also very sensitive. So an arena of people, be aware that you can zip up your energy field and not feel so much what other people feel. So what do you do when you have PTSD? First of all, is there any other examples anybody wants to give me that if you want to be worked with for a few minutes? Okay, so let's talk about, let's use the example if you go into a crowd or you have a difficult time with relationships. What I recommend, first of all, if these are relationship rooted, that find some relationships in your life that you can be authentic with and that you can feel safe with. It's important that, okay, thank you, at the store or even church. So, first of all, zip up before you go out. Realize if you are picking up an emotion for no reason, you may be picking up somebody else's emotion. Just realize that, and by realizing that, then you can say, I choose to stay in my own energy field. I choose to be in my body 100%. Claiming it, having the intention, getting some healthy relationships around you so that you learn how to be in safe relationships. And the more you practice feeling safe with people and relationships, the more you can start extending out and having other relationships that you can feel safe with. So there's a couple of things. If you notice these panic attacks that come, well, first of all, let me go back. I recommend everybody go to your parent if they're alive and ask them to give you the details around your birth. So there's a lot of information. I'm creating a form right now that I recommend. I can put it on my website, awakenwithin.net, or you can message me and let me know that you'd like me to send you a copy of it. I'm just in the process of creating it. Okay, I feel like I have to protect myself at all times, physically and emotionally. Then definitely you're suffering from PTSD if you feel like you have to protect yourself at all times, and that is not a fun way to live life. So recognize, first of all, I suffer from PTSD, and just breathe that and be okay with it. Notice where you feel trauma in your body. How is your body reacting? Is it a stomach ache? Is it your heart palpitating? Do you feel a lump in your throat? Realize what it is in your body, where it is in your body, and what it's creating. Only sleeping for 1 to 2 hours at a time, definitely. So I'm gonna, for you on my Facebook Live, I'm talking to people on Periscope. So first of all, you're not getting enough oxygen. If you're only sleeping 1 to 2 hours at a time, you're not getting enough oxygen. So everybody with me right now, put your tongue on the roof of your mouth and take some deep breaths. Up from the earth, bring it to your heart, and down from heaven. Hi Zenaida, welcome. talking about PTSD. Okay, up from the earth and down from heaven. And one more time, take a deep breath. Up from the earth. That's the divine feminine. And down from the divine masculine. And circle that oxygen in your heart. You may want to find out about sleep apnea, getting a machine to open up narcolepsy and catapulted. Oh my goodness. We want to get you some rapid eye sessions. So I'm going to give you some techniques that are going to help calm you down. But oxygen in the system is crucial. So noticing every time you look at the clock, just get in the habit of this. Every time you look at to see what time it is, or you just look at a clock, take 3 big cleansing breaths. And the third one, catalytic. Okay, so it's paralyzing you. Realizing that PTSD, yes, will, when you can't get enough oxygen, your whole system, what happens is your blood will flood to that area that needs attention, and it'll flood into your muscles. It may leave your heart and it goes to other areas. So there's a couple of things you can do. Even bringing ice, doing an ice dunk, putting your water in ice water to pull you out of a panic attack works. Taking an ice pack and putting it on your neck or somewhere. What you want to do is tell your brain right now, we need you to get back in the present moment. And the ice dunking will tell you, oh, we have to take care of us. We have to take care of this, because your brain's in the past and it's going into this holding the breath, and it tightens the muscles. And so what you want to do is really create a shock to your system. If you're in a full-blown panic attack, you can do an ice dip because of the parasympathetic nervous system. It tells the body right now we need to be present because we're in trouble. So being aware that that can help. But also some tapping. We'll just do some quick tapping. So you want to bring in the feeling of the panic now. Where are you feeling it in your body? So for me, when I had loss of my children, for example, I felt a deep, deep sadness that was in my chest. It was in my heart. So by realizing where the pain is, you can put your attention there and start tapping, just tapping on the front of the eye. So everybody join me. This is called EFT, Emotional Freedom Technique. And just while you're thinking about the problem, now also with rapid eye, we find 2 spots in the room. So I want to look at what your SUDs are, your subjective unit of distress. Okay, ask about tapping. Someone once mentioned it. Yes, Zenaida, thanks. Okay, so your subjective unit of distress, which is your SUDs. Zenaida just asked a question, so I was talking to her. So the tapping, what that does is these are acupressure points. So everybody go with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. These are called gamut points. 9 and 10. Okay, so realizing there's 10 points, and you can do a quick tapping. If you don't know where to tap and you're going to be somewhere, you need to be somewhere, or you're in public, just tapping on your kidney meridians right here is really fabulous. And looking at 2 spots in the room. Okay, so starting at the top, panicky, feeling can't breathe, can't sleep, not getting enough oxygen. Now move to the sides of the eyes while you're looking back and forth, and this is where I say stop it, 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 stop it. By the way, this works fabulous with addictions as well. If you are having a huge coping skill, you need to go have your addiction, or if you're trying to cut back on cigarettes or alcohol or drugs, whatever it is, the tapping on these acupuncture points help move the chi or the life force through you. Okay, under the eyes, releasing, releasing, let it go, let it go. Deep breathing, tapping, and looking back and forth, kind of like rubbing your tummy. patting your head, but okay, mouth, these 2 points right here, breathing, looking at 2 points in the room, releasing, panicky, let it go, let it go. Claustrophobia, I can't be around other people, this is hard, overwhelmed, let it go. Release it, release it, release it. Yes, as a panic attack is approaching, somebody is asking me, Nan, thanks for asking the question. Absolutely. If you notice a panic attack hitting, I would do an ice dip. If you notice it's a big one, if you're in the car and obviously you don't have ice around, ice water, splashing yourself with it, whatever, just doing the tapping. So this one, everybody follow me and say, even though I have this problem, what we're doing is, this is called a psychological reversal. Even though I have this problem, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I have this problem, I'm really okay. Even though I don't know the root of this problem, I'm okay. Anxiety is okay. I'm okay. Letting it be okay that you have this problem. Okay. Now coming to the gamut points right here. These are points just on the inside between the ring finger and pinky, tapping, releasing, releasing, looking both sides of the room, releasing anxiety, panic, let it go. Take some deep breaths under your arms. Wait, let's see, did I do that one already? Yes, I already did that one. You can't over tap, so don't worry, you can't do it wrong. Just hit the points. And this one's all over the top of the head. You have some great meridians up around the ears, but anywhere all over the top of the head is very powerful. And then what I do is just do a big sigh. Really let it go. Let it go. Just, I'm okay. I'm okay. Now, the first round of tapping, what I'll do is I'll address the emotions or the feelings. And if you can speak them, all the better. If you're in public and you maybe don't want to speak them, I have to tell you, this one time I went into the bathroom stall at a restaurant because I could feel this anxiety. Somebody had walked in that I was having conflict with. So I went into the bathroom and I just did the tapping in the bathroom stall. And I'm going, I'm okay, let it go, let it go, let it go, releasing, releasing, releasing. Now, once you get your SUDS down, or your subjective unit of distress down, then what you want to do is tap in some good. And it could be just, I'm okay. I'm okay. And I do a jingle whenever I'm in an upset that's really fun. I'll have to call Ellie down and have her do the jingle with me because she's good at, my 4-year-old granddaughter. I'm okay, you're okay, we're all okay, be okay. I'm okay, you're okay, we're all okay, be okay. The reason why I do the jingle is because the brain likes to hold on to jingles. Have you noticed? You start singing songs that you heard 4 days ago. So just tapping, and I'm okay, everything's okay. The number one thing your brain is looking for in a panic attack or in post-traumatic stress disorder is that you're safe. And using mindfulness techniques to bring you to this present moment to tell you that you're safe is a really fabulous tool. Right now, I'm safe. Physically, what do you see right now in the room? So look around and you say, okay, my daughter has these cute pictures on the, I'll show everybody over here. So I'm noticing white walls, I'm noticing curtain, I'm noticing, hi Ellie, I'm noticing what I see. And Ellie is gonna help me with this mindfulness technique. She is so good at it. So how do we play the mindfulness game?
I forgot.
What you see.
What you see.
What you smell.
What you smell.
What you taste.
What you taste.
And what you hear. So in this present moment, what is something that you see? What is something you hear? What is something you taste? Bring yourself to the complete present moment while you're doing the tapping is really a fabulous way to get you into a good place.
Do you know what I see?
What do you do when you're in a bad place that helps you?
I like to snuggle with my rainbow.
Yes, having Rainbow, our unicorn, who's magical and touches things and calms you down with his horn. Her horn helps too. Having something in your life that provides you comfort. So if you're working with kids, anchoring something in when they feel safe, like a blanket or a stuffed animal, is a powerful way to bring down emotions. Taking some deep breaths. So if you're in a full-blown panic attack, you want to take some deep breaths up and deep breaths down while you're counting numbers. So it goes like this. 1, 2, can you count?
3, 4.
Okay, then go down. 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, my PT for my brain trauma suggested those, and they work. Touch, smell, feel, hear, and taste. Yes, the reason they work, let's talk about why. That's mindfulness, Nan. So mindfulness works because it brings you to this present moment. And when you're in a panic attack, you're back into the experience that happened to you long ago, wherever that was, even in the womb, like we talked about. If you have womb trauma, which most likely you do, because we all do, our moms did not have a blissful pregnancy. She was probably sick. She may have had lack of oxygen. She may have had panic attacks or anxiety or worry. All of that's going to go into the baby.
But I I've been snuggling with her, giving her hugs.
Yes.
I played with Nora.
You're a good big sister. Her mommy's pregnant, huh? So this is one of the things I'm passionate about, but mindfulness, because of course I have lots of children and grandchildren, and these techniques are so helpful to bring down stress and trauma and to bring yourself to the present moment. So with my grands, we play the mindfulness game where we look around and we go, what do I see right now? What do I hear? What do I smell? And what do I taste? And then having an anchor for you. Now, even if it's a piece of jewelry for you, for Ellie, it's her rainbow, right? Rainbow is a good comfort for Ellie. That's an anchor. That's something physical that she can say, that gives me calming feeling. But if you, for example, this, my little Buddha bracelet, you'll like this. My exchange student gave me this little Buddha bracelet. And anytime, and on it, I've got a little jewel that says Namaste. So women or men, you can take a piece of jewelry and you can program that piece of jewelry to provide you memories of happy thoughts. So every time you pick up the jewelry, you can say, this piece of jewelry reminds me that I'm loved, that I have the capacity to be a great mom, that I have the capacity to love. And every time I might feel sad about a relationship loss, I can feel the bracelet, and it's an anchor to feeling that love again. And for Ellie, her anchor is Rainbow, her unicorn.
Hello.
Okay, so we are going to continue Lunch with Sandra every Monday between 12 and 1. I'm here to answer your questions, to help you any way that I can, provide you free training, free sessions. If you're willing to be worked with online, that's fantastic. And all of us have womb trauma, and realizing what womb trauma does to you, and I highly recommend Barbara's book, Womb Prints. I'm really excited to promote it, and also I'm doing rebirthing sessions, and this is fabulous. Thank you, Linda, for joining. Rebirthing sessions are when we take you back to the birth experience. Thank you, Tony, for joining. We take you back to the birth experience, and we let you do experiential therapy and go through your birth for awareness and provide you love and support through that. And we're in the process of training other technicians to do this, to continue.
Can we?
Okay, so does anybody have any questions? We look like we are about complete here.
Yeah, but I will play the mindfulness game to show them.
you want to play the mindfulness game to show them? How about you do your song, because we already showed them the mindfulness game. Do you want to do your song, what you do? I'm okay.
Okay, you're okay, we're all okay, be okay.
I'm okay.
Okay, you're okay, we're all okay, be okay.
One more time.
I'm okay, you're okay, we're all okay, be okay.
I love that song. Thank you, Ellie, for helping Grammy today. Thank you guys for joining us, and join us every Monday between 12 and 1 o'clock for Lunch with Sandra, and we'll have different topics. Thanks, Zenaida, for joining. Thanks, Shanna, and book club at my house tonight for all who can join. Namaste. Sending prayers and blessings out to 9/11, which I'm so glad. We want to just acknowledge that book. The book is called Womb Prints. Can you give me the name? Yes, Womb Prints. That's there's a lot of books on birth trauma. This one, she's doing some final editing, so text me. I'll see if you can't find it. Okay, because she's doing a final edit on it. So I just want to take a moment to send love out to womb, not wound, womb. See, womb prints. These are pain in your womb. Okay, womb prints. And it's about womb trauma, yes. So realizing that, taking a few minutes to realize there's trauma going on all over the world, people that are flooding in hurricanes, sending them love and peace. And also to those who have experienced some trauma in 9/11, we just want to take a moment, and instead of feeling worry and fear for those people, sending them a prayer of blessing and hope.
But I'm not afraid anymore, but I need help with one thing, that is good dreams.
Yes, we do work with good dreams, don't we? That's a whole nother topic, dream therapy, and it's fabulous. So remind me, we can bring that up next week. Thank you everyone for joining, sending love and blessings out to all of you and our loved ones that are in Texas and all over the world that might be suffering. I love you. Mwah.